Good morning, gozaimasu. It's almost 8 in the morning, so the first thing I need to do is take out the trash. It's burnable trash day. I have to do that by 8 a.m. actually.
Hey! If you're new here, I'm Lena. In this video, it's been about 3 months since I moved to Japan. I'm a Japanese language school student. I make content about my life in Japan. And this is a day in my life living in a share house in Tokyo.
This is huge. Oh, it must be cicada. Oh, my heart is pumping so fast right now. This thing scared me. Can you see it? I thought it was a huge, not bee, but the dangerous type. Whew. I'm in the middle of packing. I'm moving out tomorrow, so there's not much left here that is mine. And my suitcase is almost ready to go. Just have a few more clothes hanging here. This is basically empty. I have these papers that I need to put in order.
So as you saw, the first thing I would usually do is throw out the trash since there's a time limit on that. And next, brush my teeth, wash my face, all the normal stuff. There are actually quite strict rules about throwing your trash in Japan, so depending on your city and neighborhood, you would throw out different types of trash on different days. So it can be quite a lot to keep up with if you're not used to it. Which I'm not. We don't have that where I'm from. Next, I'm going downstairs to the shared kitchen to start my first study session. But before we do that, of course, we have to make some coffee. I've been drinking drip coffee since coming to Japan. It's just everywhere and the easiest to buy. It's not bad, but I really miss my Turkish coffee. I was very surprised to learn that washing machines in Japan generally only have cold water. Since this is a shared space, I wash my dishes right away and dry them so that other people can use them too. Now let's get to business. Since I start school at around 1 p.m., I like to use my mornings to self-study some kanji and vocabulary. I use wanikani to do that. If you don't know what wanikani is, It's a platform that uses spaced repetition and mnemonics to help you remember the kanji in the most efficient way. It is a paid service, but I've been using it for so long that I can't imagine my life without it at this point. In my first session of the day, I would just do my reviews. I'm going over vocabulary and kanji that I've already studied and trying to see if I remember their meaning and reading. And if not, I check out the information again.
It's raining, so I am gonna put this inside.
I don't know about you, but I love having a hot beverage when I'm concentrating. So this time I made some green tea. In my second study session, I would usually learn 5 new kanji or 10 vocabulary words. I don't have a desk in my room since it's a dorm, so I use the shared kitchen space as my study space.
So before school, I'm gonna stop at the studio for a quick training session. Before that, we have to have lunch. Almost forgot. We're gonna start with this. Really important point: if you're living on a budget, you would want to have a comfortable place to cook in, even if you have your own kitchen, but it's very tiny and very uncomfortable to cook in. You're just not gonna do that. I've been in that situation. Even though nobody really used the kitchen but me so much, it was so uncomfortable to cook in that I just ended up finding so many excuses to just not do that. This place has quite a spacious kitchen, even though it is pretty old, but it has everything you need. I love to cook. Eating out in Japan is pretty cheap, but it's definitely way cheaper to cook for yourself. We're going to the studio now, and then we're going to school. I have my backpack, my mask. Let's go.
As you saw, I take the subway to Akihabara, and even though the transportation in Japan is amazing, I still end up walking quite a lot, which is something that really surprised me. You end up walking so much between your destination and the station, and even inside the stations. And it's not to say that there are not enough stations, because there are a lot of train stations and the access to them is very good, but you just end up walking more. You also find yourself climbing stairs quite a lot. So, yeah, one thing that changed since I moved to Japan is I walk way more.
I don't know if you've seen, but I've been going up and down the stairs so many times today. It's just such a challenge. Like every time I'm trying to think about ways of how to maximize the things that I take downstairs at one go. I'm about to do some laundry and take a shower. So many things. The humidity is 85% right now. Israel is really hot too, but the humidity is very, very different. Once I put on clothes in the shower, I just stay wet and all my clothes get wet, which is not a very good feel. Of course, the biggest point is you get to meet people. I got to meet some Japanese friends right as I moved in. That was such a good decision, I think. I heard that making Japanese friends is not an easy task when you just move into Japan and even when you've lived here a few years. But I think that when you live in a country that you don't know anybody in, it's really good to live in a share house and make some friends. I'm actually in a dorm, so I'm basically paying the lowest rent I've ever seen in Tokyo, where you actually have a bathroom and a stable roof over your head. The reason it's amazing is because I'm alone in the dorms. So I basically get this whole apartment to myself. As you have noticed, this place is quite old. I really don't mind that at all. When you do live in a situation like that for a long time, the little things start to become more stressful the more busy you get. I'm gonna go make my tea and check if the laundry is done. I will be leaving tomorrow, which is why I wanted to do this day in the life living in a share house, because it is my last day for the foreseeable future. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna say good night and unwind, watch some Netflix. I'm very sleepy. Good night.